Let me take a sip of my cold beverage. It's gonna be a long one, folks. Gonna be a long one. That's what she said. Gonna be a long one. The Dark freaking Knight. Do I need... I could just end this review right now. Dark Knight is the greatest movie of all time. There you go. Goodbye. You know The Dark Knight. The Dark Knight came out in 2008, directed by the one and only Christopher Nolan, and is the sequel to Batman Begins. Kevin, good sir, what did you think of The Dark Knight upon rewatch?
I think it just recertified itself to me because I hadn't seen it in a while and my memory's pretty shit, so I didn't remember how good it was. I completely forgot how fantastic it was. It pretty much recertified for me probably one of the greatest, if not the greatest superhero movie of all time. That shit was fucking nuts.
Okay. Hold on. 2 seconds. Okay. As for my opinion on The Dark Knight, I think The Dark Knight is just okay. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm sorry.
The riots were about to begin.
Yes. I'm kidding. We already have enough of those going on today. I mean, what? I'm sorry. That wasn't funny. Yes, it was. But yes, I'm kidding, obviously. The Dark Knight Rises... Oh, The Dark Knight Rises. The Dark Knight is amazing. I don't think there's anything wrong with this movie. I don't. You want my grade? It's a 10 out of 10, A+. It is 100% the best Batman movie, one of the top DC movies, one of my favorite movies personally. It's incredible. So, normally I make a good and bad list, but there is no such thing as the B word in this review. So, I just made a list of everything that I love. If I ramble, I'm sorry. I love this movie, leave me alone. So, here we go. The first shot of this movie is epic. You see, it's like, it's one of those shots that it's just like, boom, and you're in. It's amazing. I love it. You get the establishing shot of the bank. Then the movie's opening action sequence gets going. This intense robbery sequence. You have no idea what the fuck is going on. All these people in clown masks or whatever are robbing this bank, and apparently you hear like, oh, the Joker's here apparently. And you're just, and then these guys just start killing each other. It's like, what the fuck is going on, bro? Then the Joker makes his grand appearance. Oh man. You know, I think the Joker in The Dark Knight Rises and Thanos are the two villains that when they come on screen for the first time, you get fucking chills. I remember in Infinity War, when Thanos first came on screen, I was like, holy shit. So, yeah, when the Joker first reveals himself, you know, it's amazing. You know, Heath Ledger's The Joker is the most perfect performance from an actor you will ever get. Rest in peace, you legend. You know, it's a shame that he took his life after. I think he committed suicide. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure that he did. But, you know, again, rest in peace. I wish we would have had you for longer, because you had a bright future. Him as the Joker, it's disturbing. It's not even like a, oh my god, he's so evil, I love it. Well, for me it is, yeah, but it's a performance that grips you, and it locks you in. Every time he's on screen, you're not bored. Every time he's on screen, you're like, oh shit, wait, the Joker's on screen, this is important. It's amazing. Christian Bale as Batman. Oh, I cannot tell you how much of a perfect Bruce Wayne Christian Bale really is. He is amazing. He is the perfect dickhead, prick character. I love him as Bruce Wayne. He's also very good as Batman. He does a great job as Batman. He gets the job done. Gary Oldman once again as Gordon is great. They give him a lot more to do in this movie, if you ask me. In Batman Begins, it was kind of just, you know, oh, this is who he is, and you know he's gonna come back. He has a lot to do in this movie. The scene in particular I love from him is when he sacrifices himself at that amazing press conference scene. And they make you think he's dead. First of all, Mr. Nolan, if you give me another heart attack like that, me and you are gonna have some words. But he's so good. He's so freaking good. I love him. And he's just awesome. He really is. But that is not the star. The second star, because Heath Ledger is the star. Aaron Eckhart as Harvey Dent. Kevin, your thoughts on Mr. Dent?
I loved his character because I particularly love characters that kind of descend into their own destruction. You know, like they were just broken down piece by piece, and then that one final push.
We get the famous line: "You either, oh shit,
you die as a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain."
Thank you. My brain is fucked right now, but yeah, that was one of my favorite lines. It's that and the famous line from Scream, which is taken from Psycho. We all go a little mad sometimes. Yes, Scream is my favorite horror movie. I have fucking issues. But, yeah, that he's, you know, I'm watching this movie and I'm like, you know, I could have seen them running with Harvey as a villain for a third movie. For the third movie. I could have seen that. But I prefer what they did with Bane, obviously, in The Dark Knight Rises. But I could see them doing a full movie about Harvey. You know, just having him be the good guy this whole movie, right? And then the accident happens, but he's out of the movie for the rest of the movie. But then he comes back in The Dark Knight Rises. I would have been okay with that. Obviously, I prefer, you know, what they did here, because what they did here was masterful. They fit an entire movie arc for a villain in about 30 to 45 minutes. What I mean by that is that when he's Two-Face, that arc is about 45 minutes of the movie. I think so. And it's amazing. Seeing him go around, first of all, the CGI. Holy shit, bro. The CGI on him. Oh my god. You want to talk about perfectly getting into the comics? Look no further. Amazing. Amazing. Fantastic. But man, Aaron Eckhart knocks this shit out of the park. You're watching him, and his character is interesting because Batman views him as how people view Batman. Batman views Harvey as this great hero that's gonna help Gotham get back to where it needs to be. And Batman is saying maybe they don't need some stupid guy in a mask. Maybe they need a person who's open with them and honest and who's going to do what it takes to win. You know? And I love it. I love it. And seeing him descend into madness is amazing. I'm gonna touch back on what I just said in a second. Let's keep going through the casting. Michael Caine, once again, Alfred. Can I please have Alfred as my butler, please? I need that. I don't need a butler, I just need an Alfred in my life. This is the one I wanted to talk about. Maggie Gyllenhaal. I don't even know if she's the sister of Jake Gyllenhaal. If she is, all for it. She is fantastic as Rachel. Why she was not casted as her before, I will never know. but she leaves Katie Holmes in the fucking dust. Okay? She was amazing in this movie. She's filming these scenes with Batman, and it's like she had the role from the beginning. Which is just confusing to me why she never had the role to begin with. Maybe she didn't audition, I don't know. But she was great. Like, really good. I think she was great as Rachel. It's a shame that, you know, spoilers if you haven't seen a movie that's God knows how long at this point. What is it? 12 years old? You know, it's a shame that she died. Number one, it's a great scene, but I would have liked to see more of Rachel. Maybe we could have gotten her in a ghost vision shit. I don't know. But, you know, she's honestly great. Oh, where am I at? The action sequences. Oh. Okay. If you were to ask me right now, what is your favorite action sequence of all time from a superhero movie? People would say third act of Endgame. The Titan fight in Infinity War. One of the fights in Man of Steel. The urban civilian fight. That was great. The throwdown at the end of Batman v Superman. The trench scene in Wonder Woman. The Winter Soldier fight in Winter Soldier when they first fight. The Civil War airport fight. The Hulk, the Incredible Hulk scene where they're at the college and he breaks out as the Incredible Hulk. Yes, I like the Incredible Hulk. Sue me. Those are just to name a few from superhero movies. Logan probably has one. Oh yeah, the forest fight scene in Logan. Amazing. But I think my all-time favorite one is the Batpod chase from The Dark Knight. This has everything an action sequence should have. It's intense. The acting is on point. The tension is there. The plot is moving. The story is moving. There's no music. The action is in camera. The sound design is picture perfect. Everything about this scene works. And it all comes to a head. This is what I love about this movie. This movie is intense. There's scenes, you know, the scene where they're having whatever ceremony they were having in Gotham, and you find out, oh, there's hostages, and it's a whole setup, and you're trying to figure out what's happening. That music is winding and winding and winding. It's like a violin. You're turning it, and at the last moment, it snaps, and everything just explodes. The famous scene, the Why So Serious scene, is another one. But I think the best one, I think, was the one when they're on the boat, and one of them is about to blow up the other ship. You want to talk about intense. Because anything could have happened. Anything could have happened. That scene is fantastic. But the scene with the Batpod, you know, no music at all. You know, first of all, the whole second act, that whole second act action sequence is phenomenal. From the minute they put Harvey Dent in that truck, it doesn't let go. You know, and that scene is just, I've always loved it. You know, every time that scene comes on, I crank my TV to like 200 because of this scene. Batman gets in the Batpod. First of all, the Batpod is one of my favorite superhero vehicles ever made. That shit is business. Secondly, the scene where he busts out of the Batmobile, or the tumbler, that's what it's called, into the Batpod. Oh my god. You want to talk about chills? Then
that scene when he just pulls out of the Batpod, it was just like you feel it, you feel the intensity, you feel
and this
it's
goes
about
back.
to go down.
This goes back to what I said. No, well, not no music because they use music, but the scene where he jumps in front of the rocket and he saves Harvey Dent, and the back computer's telling him, oh, everything's fucked, everything's like, whoop, and you hear the siren, whoop 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 whoop, and you see him fucking with everything. Like, what the fuck is he doing? And you see that motion picture of the shit that it's about to move, and he grabs the shit. When he pulls that down, oh my god, oh my god, epic. I fucking love it. So then we get Batman driving down the highway. I almost said the hallway. The highway, making a beeline in the Batpod like there's no tomorrow. Then he goes into like this store, I guess. It looks like a store. I don't know. It looks like an airport. I don't know what this was. Regardless, he's just driving the Batpod through like everybody and their mother. I would have loved it if one of them did not move out the way. And he's just making a beeline, all of a sudden, dunk! Oh, shit! Oh, shit. Somebody's gotta clean that up. I'm not stopping, bro. The brakes don't work on this shit. As clearly demonstrated at the scene. So then, Batman is just making a beeline, blowing shit up. Boom, 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 boom. And then he finally... The Joker is making his way. And he comes... When he bursts through that alley and he, like, drifts with the Batpod... Oh my god. Oh... Kevin, I had tears of joy. And that scene where, that part where Joker goes and there's the Batman and he accelerates the Batpod and there's no music. It's silent. The sound design on the Batpod is my favorite sound design of anything of all time. You hear that? You hear that? And it's so loud. Even with the TV slow, that shit is piercing through your soul. I love it. And then the scene where he flips over, the part where he flips over the truck, amazing. That was practical, by the way. They flipped over a truck. That was not CGI. I don't know if Heath Ledger was in that truck or not. All for it if he was. Amazing. Then we get the scene, which I'm going to hand it over to Kevin after I tell you what happens, because he brought something up to me about this movie I had never thought about in the 12 years of its existence. So, Batman is charging at Joker, and you're just like, oh my god, it's so intense. And you just hear Joker, he's gonna, come on, I want you to do it, because he knew the only way he was gonna win, it wasn't by taking people hostage, killing people. He knew the only way he was gonna win is if he got Batman to kill him, to break his rule, and for Batman to show people who he really was. And you just hear him, come on, hit me, and it's, oh my god, and Batman can't do it. He can't do it, and he doesn't even use the brakes. He crashes the Batpod. And this now goes to Kevin, who brought it my attention that this movie's basically like The Killing Joke. Kevin, explain, good sir.
So, this is basically thanks to a class I had, but essentially, we were having a discussion about Killing Joke and Dark Knight, because essentially Joker was based off The Killing Joke in the sense of his ideology, because the Joker doesn't have much to lose in this fight. It was just he just, it's like Alfred said, he just wants to watch the world burn. And if watching the world burn means that Batman will have to kill Joker, then he'll die happy. You know, I just love his ideology throughout this movie, especially with one famous quote back in Killing Joke where it was, one bad day can just ruin even the boldest of men. And that's essentially what happened to Harvey Dent. I just love Joker's ideology. Obviously, I don't agree with his method, but I love his ideology with it.
Man, I think Gotham had a pretty bad day, good sir. But going back to what you said, that the Joker has really nothing to lose, you can see that because he doesn't even fight it when he gets caught in prison. Joker had a plan for everything. It's like he sat down and was like, how are the next 2 weeks gonna go? How is this gonna work so perfectly? And magically it works all perfectly. But
yeah, I think the funniest part is that you would think that when you're arrested and being taken into a prison, you would give them a metal scan. I like how nobody noticed the phone in the guy's stomach.
that's what I'm saying. Yo, that's what I was saying. That's the only thing in this movie that I questioned. I was like, so you're not gonna scan him to see if there's anything wrong with him? First of all, nobody's gonna notice that phone at all. Second of all, I think it was a little unrealistic to a certain extent how the cops were treating him. Like, he was complaining that his stomach was hurting and it was really bad, and they were just like, oh, shut the fuck up. I think that's a little...
I don't know. I mean, you're also talking about a world of Gotham.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like they only did that because it was Gotham. But I'm saying in real life, if that happened, I think they would have legit checked on him. Like, yeah, he's a criminal, but he's still a human being. I mean, come on.
And he even touched on that in the third act of the movie, which was amazing.
Oh yeah. That great scene with Harvey Dent when he kidnaps that guy after the ceremony, and Batman's like, bro, what the? He just worked. He's just a random dude. What the fuck are you gonna get from him? You know, that was a great scene. What else did I want to talk about? Oh, the music. Oh my god. Oh, well, actually, let's talk about the action sequences. More on the action sequences. The action sequences in this movie are much better. Much better. You know, this is... my one complaint about Winter Soldier is that the shaky cam gets a little excessive. But the scenes in Civil War, the action sequences in Civil War are a big improvement. And then in Infinity War and Endgame also. So, I think Chris Nolan just needed some time to get in this...
my experience.
Yeah. You know, he did Batman Begins, and people told him, oh, you did an okay job with the action sequences. And now, you know, he sat in the chair for Dark Knight and was like, oh, you thought that was bad? You ain't seen nothing yet, motherfuckers. And he did a great job. The third act, in particular, has a great action sequence. I love the third act. I love the third act of this movie. Oh my god. I'm not even talking about the Harvey Dent stuff. I'm talking about the Joker stuff. That great sequence where the cops are going in to take out these quote-unquote criminals, but they're all hostages. And Batman's trying to tell them, listen, they're not criminals, they're hostages. And Batman's got to fight the cops. It's... oh my god, Kevin. It's fucking awesome. Oh... I know I sound like a fanboy, but I don't give a fuck. Look at the title of my podcast. I don't care. It's my show. Leave me alone. But yeah, that stuff is awesome. The hand-to-hand fight with the Joker is okay. You don't expect much from it because it's more of a emotional conflict than physical. The scene where he finally defeats the Joker is awesome. The stuff with Harvey Dent is all great. You know, you really feel for him. It's like, you would understand why this person would go on a rampage like this, because let's talk about the scene where Rachel dies. I know I'm going out of order, but realistically, who fucking cares? The scene where Rachel dies. First of all, actually, no. I want to talk about the interrogation scene first. That interrogation scene. Again, chills. When Gordon shuts that door and the lights come on, you want to talk about a oh fuck moment? That is one. Realistically, if you're watching this movie for the first time, would you expect Batman to come behind him like that? I would have been like, oh shit. And that whole interrogation, again, it's intense. The tension is winding when he starts asking him, oh, where is everybody? Where's everybody? I'm not going to imitate the Batman voice. I'm not. I'm sorry. I'm going to sound like a fool. I'm not doing that. but he's interrogating Joker, and Joker tells him, "Oh, you can only save one." Now, people have said in the past, "Oh, why would he lie to Gordon when he said that he was going after Rachel?" I have the perfect explanation for this. And Rachel pretty much says it. Rachel basically tells Harvey, "Listen, I don't want them coming after me. I want them to go after you." And I think it's because she says that she shares the same morals that Bruce does, in the sense that she knew Harvey was going to be the hero that everybody needed. And so she realized Harvey means more to this world than I do. And Bruce felt the same way. So him saving Rachel, him saving Harvey and lying about going to get Rachel, yes, it's a dickhead move, but you understand why it happens. It's, people call bullshit on it. I don't have a problem with it. I thought it was great, because you understand where Batman is coming from. You can make a decision in the movie and it might be questionable, but if you understand why that decision took place, it's not bad. Not that the people thought it was bad, people just questioned, "Oh, why would he do that?" Rachel was the person that he loved. Again, for reasons I stated. That scene is amazing. When you see Rachel and Harvey all tied up, that shit is, you're like, "Oh, fuck." Now when Rachel dies, it's one of those things where you're like, "Oh shit, they just killed Rachel, bro." And at the same time, you're like, "Oh fuck," like Two-Face is born. It's, oh my god. Then we get the hospital sequence. Oh. Would you like to discuss the hospital sequence, Kevin?
I really can't describe it. The only thing I can say for sure about it is I think the funniest part about that shit that probably made it as epic as it is was that nobody noted is that Harvey Dent's reaction to when Joker pulled off the surgical mask, as if he didn't already know. Because it was like, it was so obvious, you fucking noticed.
I like the hospital stuff. I like the scene with Gordon and Harvey when they have that conversation, and he makes him apologize because he knows that's what he's gonna say. What the fuck else are you gonna say? That's all great stuff.
I really can't describe it, honestly. This is spontaneous.
Let's put it this way. The Joker makes blowing up a hospital hilarious.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, that's not funny, but in the context of the movie, it's fucking hilarious. For example, Joker sanitizes his hands, which all of you should be doing. He sanitizes his hands before committing a terrorist crime on a hospital. To which, when he detonates the bomb, he goes kaboom, and he's touching the detonator. He doesn't know what the fuck is, the bomb's not going off. He's like, "The fuck is going on over here?" And then the bomb just goes up, boom. He's like, "Oh fuck." The Joker is so unintentionally funny in this movie. Oh, speaking of unintentionally funny, how can we not talk about the pencil scene?
I gotta make this pencil disappear. Someone goes up, boom!
Ta-da! Oh shit! I never understood that scene until I was about older. I never understood what he did with that pencil, but rest assured you, when I found out what he did with that pencil, I fucking loved it. Moving on. What else did I want to talk about? Shit. I forgot. I know we didn't talk about everything. Forgot what I wanted to talk. Oh, the beginning action sequence with all the fake Batmans. Also, unintentionally hilarious. "Oh no, we're in occupants." Fucking hilarious. But that scene, when they all start coming out, you're like, what the fuck is going on, bro? And then when Batman finally makes his real appearance, you're like, oh shit, the product is fucking lit. All great stuff, you know. And the ending of this movie, I think, is awesome. You know, with Batman unfortunately killing, well, not unfortunately, but oh, excuse me, with Harvey dying, but Batman didn't want to let him die as a villain. He wanted him to die as the hero that everybody saw him as. That is great. And also, he didn't want Harvey taking the blame for everything that happened. He wanted to take the blame. He said, listen, I'm responsible for everything that happened. And so, this movie leaves off with the best final shot probably ever in a superhero movie, with Jim Gordon giving his great monologue, with it ending with the Dark Knight, and him going off into the night, and screen going black, and you hear that great Dark Knight theme. Oh! 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 I'm gonna cry. Oh my god. Oh. I think I've done enough dick sucking to the Dark Knight for one night. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
Favorite scene for me, again, the Batpod chase sequence. Every time, as soon as you see that police thing leave the station, and it goes full screen. Oh, that's what I want to talk about. The aspect ratio. All people do is complain. Oh, the aspect ratio changes from IMAX to regular cinema. Who cares? That's how Christopher Nolan is. You're acting like it's Transformers The Last Night, where the aspect ratio is changing every 5 seconds. And no, I'm not exaggerating. The aspect ratio in that movie changes from every freaking shot. I'm not joking you. But it's not annoying to me. Some scenes, yes, it's a little like, why would you switch? But in the case of the Batpod chase, it's needed. Because he's showing you, listen, now shit's about to get real. It's a full-fledged IMAX action sequence. So, why are you complaining? It's Christopher Nolan's style. If Chris Nolan did not have a style, he would come off as every other director that has no style. And we don't want that. Every director has a style. For a reason. It's called standing out. Kevin, your favorite scene from The Dark Knight?
My favorite part, it was all Joker in this movie. So if I have to point out one thing with Joker, it's the final scene we see of Joker, when Joker is basically saying, like, oh, this is all gonna happen, like, just face it. These people are going to show their true colors at the point of collapse, which is exactly what happened to Harvey Dent. And I love that scene in particular because it's just him showing his ideals, but also showing the people on the two boats. They're just choosing not to blow each other up. They have morals themselves. They're both ideal and sound. So it's kind of a way of saying, fuck you, Joker, there's still good people in the world.
Mm-hmm. Which is ironic considering what happened in The Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah.
But, that review is coming soon. I hope you guys watch this whole review because The Dark Knight is one of my favorite movies ever made, and it's still amazing all these years later. Be on the lookout for The Dark Knight Rises review. If you're not already, please leave a like and subscribe. And again, be on the lookout for The Dark Knight Rises review. Probably this weekend. Probably not. I don't know. Maybe. Maybe not. And stay safe in quarantine. And adios.